I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V, and it is just going to be another quick little video this week, I'm afraid, because it has been another really, really busy week. You see, my children are all at home at the moment on their summer holidays. It's a 6-week break that our children have between late July and early September. And this particular summer holiday has been much busier than usual because all of my children are hitting big milestones this summer. And so my daughter has just found out today, because today is A-level results day, that she'll be going off to the university that was her first choice in September. I've also got my 9-year-old about to go up into year 5, and that's very different for him as well because it means that he's got to take equipment to school for the first time. He's going to have homework for the first time, and so it's quite a big step up for him too. And then my other son is also anxiously awaiting results today. We haven't got them through yet because the system has just been too busy and he's had to go to his volunteer job. And so we are anxiously waiting to see how he did on his first year of his A-levels as well. And so it has been a very, very anxious time in the Pearson household over the last few weeks. And so my children have really needed me to be very present with them and not off out and about filming things and doing stuff for YouTube. And I've needed to be there for them instead. And I'm very, very happy to do that. It is going to be so very strange when my daughter moves off to London to start her adventure. And I'm so proud of her that she's getting the chance to do that. The thing is, I have been on my socials today and I have seen lots of people saying that they haven't got into their first choice, or they didn't get the results that they hoped for, or even that they got really, really good results but still couldn't quite get into the university that they wanted. And so I did want to take a minute to say to you guys that even if you didn't get the results that you hoped for and all of your plans are now up in the air, that can actually be a really, really good thing. Often in my life, I have found that the best opportunities come along when I've gone completely off plan, everything's going wrong, I don't know what's going to happen next. And then an opportunity arrives that I hadn't anticipated and that I wouldn't have been able to do if my original plans had gone through. I would have missed those opportunities. And so it is worth noting that even if you didn't quite get the results that you hoped for, that isn't the end of the world. You are going to find something that is going to be the right path for you. And what is the right path for your friends might not always be the right path for you. Some of us are very academic, some of us are very smart in other ways instead, and university isn't always the best choice for everyone. I didn't in fact go to university. I kind of wish that I did, but with my circumstances as they were at the time, that would not have been possible for me. And in some ways, I do wish that I'd got that degree. I do wish that I had that piece of paper to prove my competence. And one day I might well go back. But for the last 20 years or so, that hasn't been on the cards for me, and it's been absolutely fine. My path took a different direction to the one that I expected it to when I was a child, but it turned out much better. I don't know what my life would be like if I'd gone to university originally, but I do know that I really, really like my life as it is now, and I wouldn't want to change anything. And so even if you feel like it's all gone to pot now and you don't know what you're going to do, life has a really good way of just throwing opportunities at us that we did not expect. And now you'll have that space in your life to pursue those opportunities. And that can be a really, really good thing. So to celebrate A-level results and results day being over and done with, because, UCAS love to ramp up the anxiety about it and send you emails every 10 minutes saying, just in case you don't get your results, which can make you really anxious that you haven't. We've had a very, very tense couple of weeks here. And so tomorrow, to celebrate all of that being over, we are going to go to the zoo. I might show you some of that next week, but I'm not sure because, like I say, it's probably our last sort of family outing before my daughter goes off to university, and I want to be present for it. I want to be there for it. I want to make sure that my children know that I'm prioritising them and not making videos on that day. And so I don't know yet if I'm going to get a chance to show you some of the zoo or not. I'll have a little film if I get the opportunity, but my main priority is going to be spending the day with the children that day. I'm hoping that after that I'll get a chance to do some writing, but I'm thinking that the walking might actually really wipe me out. It's a lot of walking around Whipsnade Zoo, and my children have all got a particular animal that they are prioritising seeing, and all of those animals are really far from each other on the map, and so it is going to be a very long old day. But luckily I do have a holiday booked for next week as well, so we're going back to Kessingland. I know, we've been there a few times now, you're probably a bit sick of seeing it. I'm thinking that this time we might go outside of the park a little bit and explore some of the little seaside towns nearby, and so hopefully I'll be able to show you some of that as well. But what I'm most looking forward to at the coast is doing some writing there actually, because I find natural surroundings really, really inspiring for my work. And what is extra handy is that I have reached a point in my book where soon my characters will be going down to the coast, and so it'd be really good to be breathing in that atmosphere while I'm there. Generally speaking, when I am writing, I'm writing at my desk or on my sofa at home, and I'm looking out over these beautiful green trees and stuff in my garden, except that my neighbours have just chopped a load of those trees down. So now when I'm sitting at my desk and looking out, I am looking into local residents' living rooms and bedrooms, which isn't really the most inspiring for me. I don't write romance, I don't need to see in your bedroom. That was a bit strange, a bit gross. And so I don't quite know how I'm going to solve that issue. It is messing up my process a little bit, even though I'm one of those people that always says you don't need a specific process to be able to write. You can just write anywhere. You can write on your phone, at the bus station, whatever. Apparently, I do need nature things around me to be able to write. So I'm thinking I might have to get a load of pot plants to put along this windowsill so that when I'm looking out, I'm looking at my plants instead of looking at my garden and beyond. I don't know. What do you think? Should I do that, or should I get like a net curtain or something? I hate the look of net curtains though, especially after a few weeks when they start to look a bit grey and a bit yellow and you think, oh, I've got to bleach them again. I just can't be doing with all that. I like a clear thing to look out on. And so I'm a bit disappointed that I'm going to have to do something with that window, but I am going to have to do something with it because it is not an inspiring view at all. So send me all of your most creative ideas for it. Nothing is too out there. Let me show you why. Nothing is too out there. I'm currently turning a cardboard box into a little clay house at the moment. I do all sorts of weird little artsy things. So any idea, I will put in my consideration pile to give me both a bit of privacy and something nicer to look out on. So I will be back next week, possibly with a zoo video, but if not, I'm going to give you a little rundown of my writing collaboration and maybe share some maps and things from that, because one of my writing partners, Wombat, loves making the maps of all of our little cities. This is the first one that I made here. This is Treya, which is where my city begins. And then I've also got Shazam, which I designed and they made the map for. And this here is the map of the whole realm. And I've never had a map when I'm writing something before, so I'm really, really loving having something to refer to say like what the geography is like in the area that I'm at and to give me my time frames and things like that. I might have to learn how to make maps myself because that is so, so much fun. If you are following me on Patreon and wondering where your August story is, I haven't forgotten about you. It is coming. It might be a little bit late. I really want to write a short story set in the summer realm, which is where my novel is set at the moment, but I don't want to get pulled out of the story that I'm writing novel wise in order to write a short story, and so I'm a little bit in two minds about whether I might just share another chapter with you again. But either way, my patrons will have something up very soon, I promise. And if I have mentioned this already, I apologise, but I don't think I have. I now have a Ko-fi store as well, where you can buy PDF versions of all of my ebooks. I've got 4 short story collections on there. You can't get my Strange Notebook on there because that's paperback only. That's only available on victoriapearson.co.uk or on Amazon. But if you are looking on Amazon, bear in mind, some people have stolen both my title and the description of my notebook, but what they're selling is just blank pages. Mine has prompts on it, it has hundreds of pages, and it's got lots of different activities for you to work through in there. So make sure it's got my name on it, Victoria Pearson, because otherwise you'll just be getting a cheap blank notebook that is nothing to do with prompts or anything like that. But the Strange Notebook isn't available on Ko-fi purely because you kind of need it to be a paperback for it to work. But you can get all of my Strange Stories collection on there, which is Strange Love, Strange Worlds and Strange Times. They are all sort of sci-fi fantasy. Some of them are darker than others. If you prefer my fairy tale retellings, you can find all of those collated together on Once Upon a Twisted Fairy Tale. Some of those stories have appeared in the Strange Stories collections, but in slightly different versions. And what I tend to do is publish my first version, and then when I'm collating the stories together for sort of a bumper edition like Once Upon a Twisted Fairy Tale, I will then edit and change them, because the way I write stories changes over the years, and some of those Strange Stories books are very, very old now. I know I just said that there's 4 books on there, but that's because I forgot. I've also got A Tale of Two Princes on there, which is my novella. It's not long enough to be a novel, but it's quite long for a short story. It's about 10,000 words. And that is my weird mashup mix of sort of a Men in Black style Sleeping Beauty and the Frog Prince set in the future. It sounds really strange when I say it like that. Give it a go, see what you think about it, because one of the side characters in that actually became the main character in the novel that I'm currently querying at the moment, and I really, really love him. I'm so, so glad that my throwaway line about a werefox grew into such a beautiful thing, especially because I've now written a sequel for it as well, featuring Malcolm the werefox's best friend Amira as the main character. And I can see a lot of different stories branching off from there. I really like to do that. I like to have them contained in the same world together in that way. So next week I will either be reading you one of my things from there, or I'll be talking about the zoo, depending on whether I got a chance to film at the zoo or not. If you can't wait until Monday to see me again, absolutely understandable. I'm an absolute joy, obviously. But I will be here every single morning in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for that day. I sometimes let you know what's challenging me that day and how I'm going to overcome that. And I love when you join in and comment on those as well. It makes me really, really happy to know how many of you do take a deep breath with me and how it starts your day off right. I will also be here on a Witchy Wednesday doing an intuitive tarot card read as well, using Titiana's fortune cards and a deck of my own creation. Until then, you have yourself a magical week.